It's 2026, and if you're still trying to memorize the syntax or grind the lead code to get ahead, you're just wasting your brain power. Anyone can prompt AI to build a feature, but do you have the skills to know why the solution will fail at scale or when AI is hallucinating a security risk? We are drowning in AI generated code, and the only competitive advantage left is your ability to think critically. Let's break down the 6 skills that will help you stay relevant as a developer in this new age of AI. 7 years ago, I switched my career from psychology to full stack software engineer. And in 2026, one thing is clear. The biggest shift in our industry is not technical, it's actually in how we think. We've gone from builders to architects and auditors. Code is extremely cheap. Generated code is everywhere. But the bottleneck is judgment. Many developers struggle not with syntax, but with the thinking skills, the ones that everybody expects but never put in a job description. But those are exact skills that show up in code review, every design debate, and every production failure. Let's start with the first skill, the one that separates developers who just generate the code from developers who actually trust what they ship. Nowadays, every developer is already using AI. That part is no longer optional. AI helps us write code faster, explore ideas quicker, and ship more. But it also changes the pressure. Suddenly, you expect it to deliver more and deliver it way faster. That's when coding starts feeling like a race. You generate the code, it throws the error, you regenerate, then it throws another error, you regenerate again, and before you know it, you're stuck in something that I call a regeneration loop. And that happens because your brain always chooses the path of least resistance. But while you're stuck in that loop, you're missing the dangerous reality. Here's something that you need to understand in 2026. When you use an AI to help you write code, you need to treat it as your co-pilot, not an autopilot. Because AI, it doesn't know your system, it doesn't know your constraints, it definitely doesn't know what will create problems 6 months from now. And here's the example. Security research have shown that language models sometimes would confidently suggest libraries that don't even exist. And if you blindly would just run that install command, you not only are risking to create more bugs, you open the door to real supply chain attacks that was designed for developers doing exactly that. So the real skill now isn't generate more code. It's being able to look at the generated code and say, this dependency is outdated. This abstraction won't scale. This edge case will break the production. That judgment is the real skill. That leads directly to skill number 2. Every code generation costs you time, tokens, and money. To stop that regeneration loop, you need to be good at decomposition. Most people prompt like that. Create a chat app with web tokens, and then they will spend 4 hours debugging whatever mess AI throws back at them. The real skill here is breaking down a 3 month feature into a set of tasks that prompt it so clear that AI won't hallucinate. Instead of asking for the whole app, you ask for WebSocket schema, then just the authentication middleware, and then just the front end state management. You are no longer writing code line by line. You are defining the boundaries of that code. In 2026, your ability to articulate the problem is far more valuable than the ability to remember the syntax to solve it. So you decomposed the task and generated some code, and now comes the most important skill of this decade: forensic code review. By forensic, I mean like reading code like an investigator, trying to find the subtle errors that might exist in the code before production breaks. And at this point, someone might say, but AI can review the code too, right? And yes, it can. But that's also when things get even more dangerous. Studies have shown that when developers try to fix security risks with AI, the codebase becomes less secure, not more. And in some cases, after some rounds of AI fixes, vulnerability actually increases. So if AI writes the code and AI reviews it, then who's actually driving? The days of commenting looks good to me and merging are over. You need to read machine-generated code better than you read English. You are looking for those subtle logic gaps that machine misses. The edge cases, the silent failures, business logic flaws that no unit test can catch. Because guess what? AI wrote unit tests too. But I know what some of you might think right now. Okay, AI just generated 2,000 lines of code. I simply don't have time to read all that. And you're right. That's when skill 4 comes in. Developer intuition. Experienced engineers, they don't scan files evenly. They skim, and their attention snaps to certain spots. You open a file and something just feels off. That state management is fragile. That query is going to break once we have real traffic. It's just a pattern recognition. You use your intuition to audit the risk, not the syntax. You zoom in on the parts that most likely to break the production. And here's the thing. You cannot build developer intuition by prompting better. You build it by occasionally working without AI, by debugging things the hard way, by watching something fail at 2 a.m. and remembering why. Intuition, it usually comes from consequences. You earn it by feeling the cost of those mistakes and learning to spot them early. This links directly to the next skill, risk assessment. Developer is faster than ever. Shipping is easier than it's ever been. The real skill gap now is not in how fast you can deliver. It's in knowing when good enough is actually good enough and when it's going to come back and ruin your weekend. You need to be able to evaluate quickly. Can we ship it now, or is it going to be some kind of a technical debt that's going to compound and ruin the production in 3 months? AI is pretty good at solving today's problem, but it has no idea of the technical debt, no awareness of what this choice could do to the next feature or the feature after that. So someone has to think ahead, and now that's your job. So when you work with AI, you're not just approving the code, you're protecting the future version of the database and whatever your team has to deal with in the future. So this judgment call, ship versus refactor, now or later, it's a deeply human skill. And no model can make that call for you because it doesn't know your constraints, it doesn't know your product, and it doesn't know what it would cost your team to fail. As AI takes over most syntax, your value naturally moves up the stack, away from writing code to explaining the decisions. Can you take a technical choice and translate it into real-world impact? Can you explain in plain language why this quick 5-minute AI fix would cause a security risk, slow your team down in the future, or introduce bad architecture? Generated code is everywhere now. Anyone can do it. But what's rare is when someone can actually explain why this choice makes sense. Who can push back when something works, but it shouldn't be shipped? Who can help non-technical stakeholders understand why this decision matters? That's the skill that actually protects your role. If you can't communicate why this architecture matters, someone would make that call for you. Or even worse, that decision will default to whatever AI suggests. So in 2026, we are not just coders anymore. We architects, we risk managers, we auditors. The developers who will thrive are the hybrid developers. The one who can move fast with AI, but have the deep, slow knowledge to catch it when it fails. AI doesn't replace developers. It only replaces developers who outsource their thinking. If this video was helpful, please share it with your developer friend or your team, because these are the conversations we need to be having to stay competitive. And if you want more on this, the intersection of tech, productivity, and psychology, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.